Sponsored by the Medicine Center Pharmacies. You're listening to News Talk 1480 WHBC and Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy. Now here's your host, Paul White.
Good morning and welcome to Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy. I'm your pharmacist, Paul White. We're very glad you joined us this morning. Before we begin, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Mercy Medical Center, Studio Arts and Glass, and of course, our technical producer, J.D. DeAngelis. In the studio with me is Brad White, but we're really not in the studio, we're in the office. A compounding pharmacist and our very special guests, Krista Allison and Patty Fetzer, members of the Great Start for Great Futures Coalition. Good morning, ladies. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Morning.
No doubt about it, COVID-19 has disrupted our lives from business to personal interactions and even the way children and adults learn and retain information. Online learning and virtual classrooms are helping to fill the gap for many of us, but as we adapt to this new normal, online learning maintains our social distance and keeps us safe from the pandemic, but it can take a toll on our mental health and our health of our families. As a result, it's vitally important to take care of our family during these difficult times. Today, we're going to talk with our friends from the Great Start for Great Futures Coalition about strengthening our family's health and wellness during remote learning. We'd like to remind our listeners today that our program is available on our podcast. You can search for Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy in your favorite podcast app, and please subscribe to our program.
So, ladies, each of you, please take a moment, introduce yourselves, identify your role in education, and anything else you wish to share.
Great. Patty, you want to go ahead and start?
Sure. I'm Patty Fetzer. I'm Director of Prevention at the Stark County Educational Service Center. Background has been mental health my entire career, working within our local community organizations in the past. And so I'm just welcome being here and having this important conversation today.
And I'm Krista Allison, and I'm with Stark Education Partnership. I've been an educational consultant for many years, actually many decades, and the partnership works collaboratively with multiple stakeholders, engaging and collaborating with education, business, civic, and community stakeholders to drive sustainable improvement and innovation from our youngest citizens to our college and career-minded young adults to ensure lifelong success. And both Patty and I are members of the Great Start for Great Futures Coalition. So thank you for having us here today.
Are you still in the old Edgefield School building, your offices?
The Educational Service Center?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
We recently moved out. We're in a building within Stark State.
Oh, okay. Okay. We're having a great conversation on Facebook right now with all of my friends who went to Edgefield School.
Oh, really?
Yeah, young. I went there second to sixth grade, but we're talking about the houses that were moved, the big ones and all that sort of thing. So it's kind of interesting to hear what all the people remember. So, but anyway, so what is Great Start for Great Futures?
Well, Great Start for Great Futures was formed in December of 2016, and it's a countywide collective comprised of early education providers, agencies, advocates, and community leaders who collaborate to design and implement initiatives to close the early learning gap in our Stark County community. Our goal is to ensure that all children have access and opportunity to high quality early education to ensure kindergarten readiness and in all of our early learning educational domains. And we have different work teams that are designed around what we call the faces of our community. So that would be family and parent empowerment, agency and community, children, educators, staff, and early childhood education programming, and our systems. Our fundamental work team that started in 2017 has designed a lot of things you may have remembered when we were on here before, where we talked a little bit about Talk First Start. And it all ran around this particular tagline: you don't begin at 3, you don't begin at 5, you begin before birth. And that it starts with you and it continues with us. So part of the work that we're doing today, which we're so excited to talk about, is part of not only that work with birth to grade 5, to grade K, but it's also part of the larger collective work that we do here with Great Starts for Great Futures Coalition.
So last June, you distributed 300 kids care kits, and today we're preparing to distribute 500 care kits. So that's a pretty big task, but we'll do it. Tell our listeners how that first distribution went and how the focus of this second distribution is a little different from the first.
Well, Paul, you guys actually were part of this. And so we just want to thank you for your support and contributions to this work. And actually, it started back in June. We were watching what was happening within our community with respect to this gap that has been growing for our children who are working remotely, for our parents who are trying to support their children, for our educators who are trying to support the students. And we thought, what can we do? And again, the coalition is really about standing in that gap and trying to really shore up and close any of those loopholes that we see. And so back last summer, we looked around and we said, what can we do? And we thought, let's put together what we call the Great Start for Great Futures Kid Care Kits. And during that time, we had these boxes that we put together. They were these cardboard boxes. It was a lovely ordeal. We spent one day putting all this together, literally from 8 to 4 o'clock. We had these boxes. What was in them were books, literacy materials, different donations from our community. Again, that your organization, the Pharmacy Center, you donated information regarding the free vitamin program. And we basically delivered 300 kits throughout our community. I believe your organization took several and delivered them in your various organizations as well. And it was a success. And we were so excited because we lined it up to the summer reading program also, because we wanted children to continue to read, even though it was the summer and even though we had just come through that first wave of COVID. We said, you know what, there's still a lot of learning to do. We still need to be excited about learning. So here's something, families, that you can do at home. So that was a success. And then we fast forward a few months later, and we're still currently in our pandemic. We're still concerned about our family, our friends, our community. And once again, the coalition said, what can we do? How can we, again, stand in that gap? At this point, though, focusing on health and wellness, also focusing on language and literacy, because we have some of our children who are operating remotely. We have some of our children who are going face-to-face, but they're still having a hard time. And we also know that we're wanting to support our educators and our families alike. And so we put together now 500 kits, and they're in totes this time. So we don't have the boxes. We actually have bags, and I'll be able to show that to you in a few minutes. And this contains information, again, focused on language and literacy, but we also have a strong influence and focus on social emotional as well as health. So there's a little bit of a different take this time as we were putting our kits together. We wanted to be more focused, more intentional about what we were providing to our families. And we also wanted to create an opportunity where they could come together and have a little bit of fun. We wanted to focus not only on the children, but we also wanted to focus on the adults as well. So that's a little bit about the kits, and we're excited to show you what we have in them in a little while.
Okay, so I know you're putting those together today. When will they 500? When will they be available in the stores?
They will be available today. I hope you come get yours today. We're trying.
Okay, we'll do it. We'll do it. Okay, we'll do it. Okay. So tell us what's in them.
Okay, so this is the exciting part. And so Patty and I, even though we're not together, because again, we're being socially distanced, I'm currently here at our Early Childhood Resource Center, which is a partner. And I have to actually tell you, before I go into these kids, I need to share with you all of our various donors from Altman Hospital, Canton Health Department, City of Canton, the Cleveland Clinic, Mercy Medical, Early Childhood Resource Center, Help Me Grow, Medicine Center Pharmacy, OSU Stark Extension, EFNEP Program, PNC Bank, Stark County Community Action Agency Head Start, Early Head Start, Stark County Educational Service Center, Stark Education Partnership, Stark Library, Stark County Mental Health and Addiction Recovery, Stark Metropolitan Housing Authority, State Support Team Region 9, Thrive, and United Way of Greater Stark County, and all of our community partners. So I just wanted to mention that because without them, we would not be able to do this. And as well as our coalition members who have come in all week to help put these bags together. If I pick this up and scan the room, what's surrounding me it's 500 of these bags that look like this. Okay. So are you ready to see what's inside?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, let's go. All right. Now, last time We actually play games sometimes, when we're talking with you guys. So there were a lot of, like I said, it was the box kits. And so we went with the bags this time. And again, these were courtesy of PNC. So within the bags, we have certain things as a placemat. Hope you guys can see that. This is a placemat. So for our children that are sitting at the table, it's got little activities. It's got menu suggestions and colors. On this side, there's some literacy information that says time to play and playtime and what you can do with those activities. It even has some things here where you can ask your child, what color is this food? Oh, it's green. Or is it verde? So this is in English and in Spanish for our families. So that's sitting there as one of our pieces. And then we also have located in here some information. This is just a little toolkit of some healthy pieces here that we have here. We've popped in here some face masks for both the adults as well as the children. We also have in here some things for dental oral care, right? It's important to keep brushing your teeth. I think one of these has like a timer in it. I don't know if all of you brush your teeth for 2 minutes, but that little timer, I have a little buzzer on mine so I can remember to do that so I don't rush. We have some hand sanitizer in here, again, wanting to promote safety. Bubbles, who doesn't love bubbles? You guys still like bubbles? I could never get mine to always make the big one. It takes me a couple times. How about you guys? Does it take you a while to get those bubbles started?
Sure.
All right. Also, some pencils. I think these pencils are great because, for us, I don't know about you if you write with pens or those electronic pencils or whatever but these are pencils. So you actually have to put them in the pencil sharpener and sharpen them. Do you remember having to do that? You were talking about being in school and doing that. We also have in here some other great things such as chapstick, obviously some crayons. We have information in here that's related to just being safe at home, what we need to do. Some information about how we can protect ourselves when we're at home, warning signs against suicide, substance abuse. That information is listed there. We have, now this is the thing, I'm not quite sure the parents are going to really appreciate this, but outside of they'll appreciate this. This is one of those pieces you put on your phone. What are those called? The little pieces that
Poppers?
Poppers, yeah, they'll appreciate that unless the kids get them first for their phones, because some 5-year-olds actually have cell phones. So they might want those. But this is the piece, and obviously we have glue, but here's the piece that's interesting. The bouncy ball. Have you guys had bouncy balls bounced in your house?
You might get in trouble for that.
That's why I said, I'm not sure the parents are going to really appreciate this gift. I would appreciate this, but I know when I'm thinking about my children, which they are young adults, I don't know about seeing this bounce all through your house or you're stepping on it. How about that? You step on it and like a Lego, right? So we have that in there for the kids. Now these pieces I'm really excited about. So you let me know before we get to a break, because I want to show these pieces also. So we put in here in many of our pieces, the children have what's called Chicka Chicka Boom Boom.
I love Chicka Chicka Boom Boom.
Do you remember that?
I remember that. Yes.
Yes. Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. Where will there be enough room? Yeah. Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. Will there be enough room? And so you'll remember in Chicka Chicka Boom Boom, they have letters and Q's and R's and S's. I'm just kind of flipping through there. M is looped. N is stooped. O is twisted. Alley oop. Skit scat scoodle doot. Flip flop flee. This is Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. I know people have to remember this. When we got these books, I thought this will be so fun for the kids to read because of all the silly words. And then the parents trying to say the silly words. And sometimes they're tongue twisters and you can laugh and giggle about all those words. So this is a great book. And I saw the smile on your face, Brad, when I said it. So I was like, oh, that must have brought back some memories. And Patty, for you and Paul, this is one of those books. So see, you'll have to read this to your grandkids. And so the other book, now, I don't know if you guys remember this book or not, maybe reading it to your children or grandchildren, but Brown Bear, Brown Bear. How about that? And we had a song in our house that we would sing to this when my children were little. I'm not going to sing on the air because it will be there forever. I don't embarrass myself. But I'm singing the song right now. And it's just one of those things that take me back to when my children were little. And we would sing this and I would rock them. And even when they were toddlers, we would sing this song. But how the book goes, and for those of you that are not familiar with Brown Bear, This is a book that is by Bill Martin Jr. and Eric Carle, and he has several books, but it's color coordinated here. And it says, brown bear, what do you see? And it starts off with that, and it says, I see a red bird looking at me. And so when they see the red bird, you turn and you see the red bird. And so you can go through the colors, how important it is for our kids to be able to identify these primary colors. And then it says, red bird, what do you see? I see a yellow duck looking at me. And then you go and see, you see the yellow duck. So this book is just phenomenal. You can put it to music, you can rock your kid to this. And even now, even though we're adults, I could read this whole book to you while we're on the air, and you'd say, yeah, that's pretty cool. So that's the book that's in there. And there's a couple of other things that we have. But one of the things that we did do also—
Time out. Okay. Time out. Okay. Yeah, we got to take a break. Okay.
Okay. No
I think
problem.
we're past the break time. We're almost at the news. Okay.
Okay. We'll do that.
All right. You're listening to Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Don't forget your sweetheart and the kids on Valentine's Day Sunday. So stop in the Half Off and Hot Buy store in Louisville. We're loaded with all types of Valentine merchandise, from fun decor, Valentine cards, toys, candy, and much, much more. Also, just in, a ton of new merchandise from a huge drugstore purchase. It looks great. Oh, and we have a large lot of helium balloons, the largest in the area. The Half Off and Hot Buy store in Louisville, next to the Medicine Center Pharmacy. See us on Facebook and our website, halfoffandhotbuystore.com.
Cleveland Clinic Mercy Hospital wants you to know we are here for you literally and virtually. For our patient safety, Mercy is providing virtual doctor appointments from the comfort of your home. This service is available for Stat Care Urgent Care 7 days a week and Mercy Primary Care Monday through Friday. See our website at cantonmercy.org/telehealth for office and appointment hours. Mercy telehealth visits are simple, convenient, and can be utilized by anyone who has access to a smartphone, tablet, or computer. Our Mercy representatives are ready and happy to assist you. So whether you are in need of urgent care for minor illnesses and injuries, or would like a one-on-one with a Mercy primary care physician, Mercy is here for you. Cleveland Clinic Mercy Hospital telehealth appointments. Learn more at cantonmercy.org/telehealth. That's cantonmercy.org/telehealth. Online appointments are considered medical services and will be billed to your insurance. Copays and deductibles apply.
Hi, Paul White from the Medicine Center Pharmacy. From 1976 to the new year, 2020, we've been part of the Canton community. This year, we celebrate 44 years of service. Thank you for your business and continued support of the Medicine Center Pharmacies. A lot has changed in the pharmacy world over the past 44 years, but one thing hasn't: our commitment to your health. Stop by your local Medicine Center Pharmacy in Canton, Louisville, Minerva, or New Philadelphia, where wellness begins. Yes, we are open. We are open. The Medicine Center Pharmacies and the Half Off and Hot Buy store in Louisville are open. Some great services are still in play: our drive-through windows, curb service, and our enhanced delivery service. Our stores are fully inventoried and fully staffed for your convenience. 13 pharmacists to help you with your medications and over-the-counter products. So don't hesitate to visit us or use one of our services. Medicine Center Pharmacies in Canton, Louisville, New Philadelphia, and Minerva.
You're listening to News Talk 1480 WHBC and Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy. Now here's your host, Paul White.
Welcome back to Health Matters. We're talking this morning and discussing family health with Krista Allison and Patty Fetzer from Great Start for Great Futures. We're talking about what's in the bag. Did we get done?
Well, no, there's more, Paul. There's more. But wait, there's more. This is the last piece. And
Okay.
Patty's going to help us with this. I mean, again, you asked, and we did a little.
No, I know. It's okay. It's good.
I know. We did a little bit different because, again, we're kind of in the middle of the winter, and so we want to make sure that what we're putting in these kits, that we have a lot of activities for families. But this last piece we are so excited about because what we've done is this time we've also created this little folder, clear folder. And within the clear folder, we have 3 different folders that have pertain to different information. We have a language and literacy folder, which has a lot of different tools in here, everything from the information from Talk First Start to what we're really excited about is just some milestones and activities that families can do from birth to age 5. We have a coloring book listed in there, but we also have something that we put in here, which is a calendar. for each month. And so each month the family can hang up this calendar and it's got different activities that they can do each day with their child. And that's part of our language and literacy piece. We have a health piece as well, which has a lot of health information in there, from safe sleep to eating, and obviously our free kids vet vitamin program information is in there, to choose my plate. That information is also listed in there. So we have that information as well as dental care information listed in our health, just a variety of things. But the other piece that we're really excited about is that we put some information in here as it relates to basically strengthening our families, from mind body skills to 1-minute exercises. So we want to just take some time, if we could, to kind of walk you through this. And we put an adult coloring book in here as well. So we know adults like to color. I don't know if you two like to color or not, but we did put an adult coloring book in there. So while the children are coloring with theirs, the adults can color as well. So Patty, if you could, we're going to walk through these two pieces, because we think that this is a really exciting and important piece that we want to talk about with you today, because it pertains to our social emotional strength and growth. The first is called the 1-minute resilience building intervention for traumatized children and adolescents. And the second is mind body skills activities for emotional regulation. Patty, I'll turn that over.
No, certainly. And one of the things I want to do is thank Stark Education Partnership for helping us fund those manuals that we purchased in partnership with Stark Commonwealth, who gave us manuals that we can provide electronically. We've already spread them far and wide to our educators who are looking for hands-on, easy to use tools to calm and heal our stressed minds and bodies of not only ourselves as adults, but also our kids, both in the classroom and also giving tools for the families at home. So what we did is we pulled out some core, easy to use activities from those manuals specifically for our parents of young families. And so when Krista spoke about the Brown Bear book, which I read with I have 2 grandchildren, that I can do these activities even through Facebook. But moms, grandmas, older siblings can do these activities. So there's a Brown Bear breath activity just to help kids realize and learn, and us as adults can do that they can pretend and think about being that cuddly brown bear that's going into a cave, and they're lying down and they're cozy and they're relaxing and closing their eyes. And now you guide the child, and you're also doing it for yourself. Feel the air as you breathe in through the nose and breathe out through your nose. And you're helping them with counting. You say, breathe in, 1, 2, 3, breathe out, 1, 2, 3. And then you talk to them about, and you teach them that skill that we can use when we're having difficulty sleeping or need to calm down in the middle of the day. But it's just, that's one of the simple activities. And then it comes with a coloring page that you can use alongside to tie in all kinds of simple activities like that. I think of the bubbles that Krista referenced in the kit, but you can do an activity with the kids. There's a coloring page that comes along, and an activity that you can talk to them about. Put your worries in the bubble, draw a picture of what you're worried about. And then if you have the actual bubbles, you can actually blow those worries away, blow them out into the wind. Or you might be, and I think of family members that are struggling with quarantining in their bedroom. Mom might be in the bedroom quarantining because of COVID, and they could be saying, I'm worried about mommy, and blowing bubbles of wishes to mommy from the door, and saying, my wish is that you feel better, mommy. My wish is that. But lots of different activities, even talking about hurt.
Guess what? We have to take a break for the news.
All right.
Can you hold that thought? Okay. All right. Bottom of the hour time for the news. You're listening to Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy.
WHBC AM 10, reliable as ever on News Talk 1480 WHBC.
From the News Talk 1480 WHBC newsroom, you can start filing your taxes today, a little later than usual. The IRS now accepting returns, but experts remind those of you who have been working from home, you may have some new deductions or some new rules to follow. Ohio's overnight curfew has been lifted, and that has bars, stores, and other venues responding with heavy promotions of new hours or a return to old ones. The next event the CDC is keeping an eye on is Mardi Gras, which is this coming Tuesday. They're reminding people attending large gatherings like Mardi Gras increases your risk of getting and spreading COVID-19. They also say costume masks are not replacements for cloth or medical masks. Now that the House impeachment managers finished 2 days of statements, lawyers for former President Donald Trump will lay out their case today. That gets underway at noon. Pioneering jazz keyboardist Chick Corea has passed away at the age of 79. According to a Facebook post, Corea died from a rare form of cancer that was only recently diagnosed. Today is Abraham Lincoln's birthday, and as a reminder, Monday is President's Day. There will be no mail delivery, and the majority of banks are closed on Monday as well. More news coming up at 10 o'clock. I'm Pam Cook.
Cleveland Clinic Mercy Hospital wants you to know we are here for you literally and virtually. For our patient safety, Mercy is providing virtual doctor appointments from the comfort of your home. This service is available for Stat Care Urgent Care 7 days a week and Mercy Primary Care Monday through Friday. See our website at cantonmercy.org/telehealth for office and appointment hours. Mercy telehealth visits are simple, convenient, and can be utilized by anyone who has access to a smartphone, tablet, or computer. Our Mercy representatives are ready and happy to assist you. So whether you are in need of urgent care for minor illnesses and injuries or would like a one-on-one with a Mercy primary care physician, Mercy is here for you. Cleveland Clinic Mercy Hospital telehealth appointments. Learn more at cantonmercy.org/telehealth. That's cantonmercy.org/telehealth. Online appointments are considered medical services and will be billed to your insurance. Copays and deductibles apply.
Time to get out of the house and take a class. Studio Arts and Glass offers, of course, stained glass classes, but much, much more. Fuse glass snowflakes or make a heart for your Valentine. Glass terrarium eggs or painted wine glasses. Gift shops open Monday through Saturday from 10 to 6. Call for class times or studioartsandglass.com, located on 77 in Apple Grove in North Canton.
Don't forget your sweetheart and the kids on Valentine's Day Sunday. So stop in the Half Off and Hot Buy store in Louisville. We're loaded with all types of Valentine merchandise from fun decor, Valentine cards, toys, candy, and much, much more. Also, just in a ton of new merchandise from a huge drugstore purchase. It looks great. Oh, and we have a large lot of helium balloons, the largest in the area. The Half Off and Hot Buy store in Louisville, next to the Medicine Center Pharmacy. See us on Facebook and our website, halfoffandhotbuystore.com. Is CBD oil right for you? That may seem like a simple question, but the answers don't come from a convenience food store or a mall kiosk. Your Medicine Center pharmacist is the most accessible healthcare professional. Our pharmacists have been trained to provide expert CBD oil information to tailor therapies like CBD capsules, tinctures, lotions, and ointments to your particular need. We have the highest quality, organic, Colorado-grown, non-GMO, full-spectrum CBD oil products. Visit the Medicine Center pharmacies in Canton, Louisville, Minerva, or New Philadelphia.
Your severe weather station, News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Here's your AccuWeather forecast. This afternoon will be mostly cloudy and chilly with a high of 31. Then plenty of clouds tonight, low 19. Tomorrow will be cloudy and chilly with a couple of flurries and a high of 29. Then snowfall tomorrow evening will total an inch or two. Very cold on Sunday, low clouds, maybe some sunshine with a high of 27 and a little snow on Monday. I'm Holly Holdren for News Talk 1480 WHBC.
You're listening to News Talk 1480 WHBC and Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy. Now here's your host, Paul White.
Today, Brad and I are sharing the information from the Great Start for Great Futures Kid Care Kits. We've got a lot more to cover this morning, so let's get back to the show. I want to know how long it took you to round stuff up.
It was amazing how the community comes together. I mean, at the Great Start Greater Futures is already a grand committee of lots of partners. And when the call out and during meetings and says, what do you have to offer for families that you want to get out there right now? The response is fantastic. So kudos to our community for coming together like they do and dropping boxes off and working together to get them to put together.
Yeah.
I don't think you finished your expos here. What else you have? No, I cut you off. So.
No, there's, what I think what's important is that there's just a whole range of activities that we can just have in our homes, that families can have in their homes to remind themselves that there is so much good stuff you can be doing to promote the literacy and the health and the wellness of your family. Simple strategies, they don't cost a lot of money to help you feel better, to help your kids have some fun. Some of the other activities that are in those even manuals that add to fun, and it's just a reminder how simple it can be. The lyrics to which my dad sang to us, and as an educator, he sang to the kids. And as a Nana, I actually sing over FaceTime to my daughter, but you can do the head and shoulders, knees and toes, or if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Wow. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. And it's so fun. Even my 1-year-old granddaughter, when you stomp your feet, and she's stomping her feet. So, it's just a reminder that that's the stuff that helps us be healthy, mind, body, and spirit. And since we're stuck at home, we have extra time to do that stuff. And, and I got to share too, the other thing, coloring is powerful for helping us feel better. And our Stark Mental Health Addiction and Recovery Board, where I used to work for many years in the past, they donated adult coloring books that are in those packages. But there's also not only the coloring pages within those manuals that we referenced, but you can just download, you can search Google kindness coloring pages, or it's Valentine's Day, right? Instead of going to the store during COVID and picking out cards, you can be, and I did it as a Nana, print off a coloring page and color it, send it off to your granddaughter. And what I watched happen, my granddaughter received it. She's 1 year old. But then yesterday, her mom brought out a few crayons, and then she added color to the page, and we had activity and conversation about one coloring page. But the coloring of it was therapeutic to me. It didn't cost anything, and it was a great activity for her. So, as we think about Valentine's Day, we think about next week is actually Random Acts of Kindness Week. I've got on my kindness t-shirt. There's just so many simple things that we could be doing, and coloring pictures and dropping them off for our grandparents or loved ones that might be within a nursing home, dropping them off on front doorsteps of neighbors. But it's therapeutic for the giver and the receiver in so many ways. So just very simple activities, bringing us back to simpleness. We can look at this pandemic and say there's a lot of good stuff that comes out of it. It's reminding us to slow down, to breathe. And then, like I said in that manual, it actually gives you tips and activities for breathing to remind us and to teach our kids to take that breath when they're needing to calm down for nap time, or maybe they're having a rough time. I've watched it happen after, even my granddaughter got upset at one point in time, and I say, breathe. And then I, role model that breathing that you can do even through FaceTime, and they do it. So just simple, doesn't cost anything, but we want to remind our families out there and give them the tools and reminders to use it within the kits.
I think it's also, it's important as we're doing this work to really just not only model it, like you said, Patty, but to also just reach out and help people. As she commented, there's a lot of things happening as people are trying to deal with this in their own way. And each of us is dealing with this COVID, this pandemic in their own way. We're coming up on a year in March with this, and maybe even sooner than that. But how do we really just come together to support each other, to lift each other up, And that's been really the work that we've been doing here through Great Start for Great Future. So in many ways, while this is 500 totes and kits that we've been putting together, it's been therapeutic for us all week. We started this on Monday. We picked everything up. We had deliveries last Friday that came into this particular room, and we started putting things together on Monday. And in many respects, it's been therapeutic for everyone that's been stopping in and saying, hey, I want to put together some of these things, because it just gives you an opportunity to not think about all the other extras, but just to focus on helping someone else. So it's been great. I know it's 500, but it didn't seem like that at all.
So when will these kits be available for them to people to pick up?
People are starting to pick them up today at 11 o'clock. They'll be picking them up today. And so from that, yes, exactly. We need to move them out.
Wait a minute, we don't even have them in the store yet.
Yeah. So the thing is, they're surrounding me right now. And I literally I had to pick up a chair to sit here. But we want people to start picking them up today, at least from our organizations. And then our organizations will be pushing them out to everyone. I believe that through the Medicine Center, you guys will be picking them up today. They will be in all 3 of your locations. And then the Stark Main Library will also have them available as well. So people need to stop in there. And then there's various organizations from our school districts to our Head Start programs and others that will be picking up some of these bags. Stark Metropolitan Housing, they'll be picking up some bags as well, and various other ones that I just didn't mention, but they'll be picking them up and they'll also be available. So this is, our goal is to get them out, as many of them today, to the organizations so that they can begin to distribute them to families.
Okay.
Well,
go ahead, Brad.
Well, I was just going to ask, consistency is so important to our children and health of all our families. In many ways, the ability to be consistent is what we've kind of lost during this pandemic. So from inconsistent learning patterns, whether it be live or remote, or inconsistent healthcare, if you can or can't visit your doctor easily, maybe even inconsistent meals. Can you talk about how that impacts the strength and health of the families affected by those problems?
Oh, yes. So from a family perspective, consistency matters, especially when you're getting your children consistent with their rote of the day and what they're doing. But what we don't realize as adults is that we have consistent patterns as well. And so that's been interrupted. So now we're figuring out each day how to adjust. Every day we're figuring that out. And so one of the things that we hope will happen with the kids is that it will build in some level of consistency, because when that happens, you can go into this kit, you can say, hey, we're going to color today. And that one element of consistency can change the whole day's perspective. It really can. I looked forward all week coming to work on these kits, because that was something consistent. And then as I was talking to some of my colleagues, they were like, it's on my calendar. This is what I'm looking forward to do. So we're hoping that not only are we paying it forward so that we can build some consistency with our families and their children, but this will spread kind of like wildfire. And hopefully they will tell someone else, hey, I got this kit. Look what's inside. Go visit the different websites that we have listed here, participate in Storytime, go on Instagram, see what's out there, and we can start to build some consistency in a time where it's not consistent each day.
And I think in the midst of, life is never life and days change, but it's giving families those tools that just making time each day to read. Make time to read to your children, make time as an adult to read and role model reading each day. Make time to breathe, as we said, make time to color, make time to eat something healthy foods, make time to take that vitamin that Medicine Shop is providing through their vitamin giveaway. But just looking at and thinking about, Krista and I talk about this lots, put on your oxygen mask first. As adults, as the carers, whether they're educators or our parents or serving in both roles, or grandparents. But what can you do for yourself each day, no matter what happens in the day? What can you do in the midst of it to feel better and take care of yourself, and then also teach your children and role model to your children those skills. So even when you're having a rough day and you're rushing off to childcare when you thought, something different occurred in the day, but in the car, you could be just singing, okay, when you're happy and you know it, clap your hands, whatever you can do in the midst of it all to just do something to take care of yourself and role model to your child, to still have fun, to roll with it, to talk about it, to blow the bubbles away, to color it out, whatever you need to do.
Yeah, it's so important to do that because our children are watching us. They really are. And when we think that they're not watching, they are. And so we just love that we have some of these tools in here, and we're encouraging our families to take a look. And they don't have to look at everything in one setting. I mean, it's there, and they can go and pick it up when they want to, but at least it's a resource for them.
Okay, let's take our final break here. You're listening to Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy.
You're listening to Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy and your hosts, pharmacists Paul White and Brad White. Remember, you can get more information right now by visiting medshoprx.com. That's medshop.rx.com. We'll be back with more of Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy in just a moment.
Saving money is awesome. Saving money on items you actually use? Fantastic. Hi, Paul White for the Half Off and Out by Store in Louisville. If you think you'll find the same low prices, huge variety, or great customer service at any other store, you'd be wrong. Stop into our store in Louisville and see what great deals we have. Follow us on our Facebook page at Half Off Store to see super specials. Why pay full price? Come in and experience the Half Off and Out by Store in Louisville, next to the Medicine Center Pharmacy. Are you tired of spending time sorting your medication? Hi, pharmacist Paul White for the Medicine Center Pharmacy. Whether you are a caregiver or personally take medications, our pill packets will change how you take your medication forever. Instead of multiple pill bottles, you want to receive one easy dispensing box that contains all of your medications in individual packets. Organized by date, time, with instructions clearly labeled, it's simple, convenient, and safe. Call or stop by your local Medicine Center pharmacies in Canton, Louisville, Minerva, and New Philadelphia, where wellness begins. Hi, Paul White from the Medicine Center Pharmacy. In these difficult days, please stay calm and make sure your medical and healthcare supplies are well stocked. Make sure you have Kleenex, acetaminophen or Tylenol, ibuprofen or Advil, Mucinex, Robitussin or Dayquil, cough drops, maybe even a humidifier or a vaporizer. You can also just turn the shower on hot and sit in the bathroom breathing in the steam. How about vitamin D and a probiotic? And a good multivitamin like Linus Pauling Super Multivitamins that you'll find only in the Medicine Center pharmacies. So take care of yourselves and don't stress about the coronavirus. Make sure you get plenty of rest and plenty of healthy food. Medicine Center Pharmacy, Canton, Louisville, Minerva, and New Philadelphia. Don't forget your sweetheart and the kids on Valentine's Day Sunday. So stop in the Half Off and Out by Store in Louisville. We're loaded with all types of Valentine merchandise from fun decor, Valentine cards, toys, candy, and much, much more. Also, just in a ton of new merchandise from a huge drugstore purchase. It looks great. Oh, and we have a large lot of helium balloons, the largest in the area. The Half Off and Out by Store in Louisville, next to the Medicine Center Pharmacy. See us on Facebook and our website, halfoffandhotbystore.com.
You're listening to News Talk 1480 WHBC and Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy. Now here's your host, Paul White.
Welcome back to Health Matters this morning. We're listening and talking with Krista Allison and Patty Fetzer from Great Start for Great Futures.
You know, Paul and Brad, as I was just listening to the commercial break and you talked about the medications that you might want to consider having in your home because of the COVID virus, the cough syrups and all of that. One of the pieces of information that Krista mentioned earlier in the show was the Safe Home card that our Mental Health and Recovery Board put in the kits. And it's the reminder to one of that safe home things is making sure you're locking up those medications so that the kids can't get access to it.
Correct.
And this is just an FYI around the cough syrup is that more recently our teens are actually getting into the cough syrup and adding other things to the cough syrup. So just a reminder to just make sure with those medications, lock them up. But that reminder is in those care kits.
Okay, good deal. I don't know where we're at, Brad. Where are we at?
Well, we've covered a lot of ground, and I think it's impressive just from a community resource what you put together and how many people contributed to that. And all we do is turn on the news and hear about scary things, whether it be pandemics or politics or stuff, and it's nice to hear something positive. So for what that's worth, I appreciate what you guys have pulled together. One thing that I know you wanted us to touch on, that the CDC, of all people, not to bring in COVID words, but they have some excellent resources for different age group of parents and caregivers to address social and emotional needs of their children. And we'll put a link to that in our post here about where you could find that information. But I know Great Start focuses on kids from birth to age 5, and the CDC talks about how families can try to help their kids feel safe. Do you have any comments on some of the things that parents can do to help keep their kids feel safe during this scary time?
Yeah, certainly. So as we talked about what's in some of those activities that we have put in the kits, 1-minute interventions, mind-body skills, there's activities in there by age group, but specifically for the younger kids, it's a picture of a backpack that they can color. And then you can talk them through, what would you put in that backpack when you go to grandma's house, or you might go to childcare, you might go to school, or just to have in your bedroom? What kind of things would help you feel safe right now? And you can talk them through that, and they can think about that. And then they can also actually create the backpack. There's also an activity where there's a picture of a bedroom with a bed in it. What would you put in your bedroom? What is in your bedroom that helps you feel safe? And then you can have a conversation about that. There's activities that, to even talk through it, very simple. I mean, anybody can do these activities with children, but has different pictures of what can you do when you are feeling angry or sad. Draw, you can circle that picture, color it in. There's pictures of, they have their blankie and they have their thumb. For the younger kids, and then there's activities, of course, for the older kids as well. But it's just a reminder that we need to have those conversations, but this gives us kind of those prompts for the conversations. Very simple, easy to do prompts to have the conversations and allow them to color or write about it, to work through the fears and the worries and the stress.
Don't you think, Patty, that I think even from that talking about it with your children, it also helps the adult too? Because even though you're talking with your child about it, what would you do as a caregiver or a parent? You're also processing that information as well and thinking about it yourself. I think, Brad, one of the pieces that you're going to put a link up for is through the National Child Traumatic Stress Network. And that's this book called Trinka and Sam, Fighting the Big Virus. And so it's a great resource for families and caregivers, where there's some coloring pages, but really just talking about what's going on to ease the fears of the children, but also as the parents and caregivers are talking about it, it's also easing their fears as well, because believe it or not, talking and those conversations really do help.
And we know that families have faced a lot of different losses. And so mom, dad, grandma might have some really hard days where they're crying and they're upset. And so there's like activities to think about. There's a picture of a big Band-Aid, and you could, color on the Band-Aid and give to mom and grandma and talk about, mom's sad today. And what can we do together to talk about what mom's sad about, and color about it and talk about that, and that we all have sad days, and we're sad because we had this loss, or we're frustrated because school was canceled and you're home today and mom's feeling a little stressed. And it's okay to say, I'm feeling a little stressed today, but we're going to figure something out to feel better. We're going to do this together.
What's different about these bags, again, is that these particular kits is that the resources that we put together in June were awesome, and they provided resources for families and activities that they could do with their children. But we leveled it up this time because we put in there resources for the adults as well. So there are things in there that they can do, as Patty's been describing. And even though you might say it's a kid care kit, well, it's also for the adults as well. So I think as they start to look through some of the manuals and some of the activities, they'll find them helpful as well.
So we're going to have links to your organization's webpage in our show notes, and we do on our live Facebook feed already. Do you have any contact information if people listening want to get in touch with you or learn more about your organization, or maybe how they can continue to support you or make donations of their own? How do they get in touch with you all?
So through our page link that you're listing there through Stark Education Partnership, our phone number is listed there. I know you're also going to provide our email addresses as well. I'll just give you mine as well, but it's krista.allison@edpartner.org, and Patty will be able to provide hers as well.
Absolutely. It's patty.fetzer@apps.sparcc.org. And we also have a website, obviously, with the Stark Educational Service Center, and within that there is a prevention and wellness page. But I welcome if there's families or educators that are on this call and want some more information, or would even want to have access to the full manuals that we can provide them electronically. I'd be happy to respond, and we'll work to continue to get this information out to the community. As together we all strengthen our resiliency muscles, we're going to come out of this pandemic stronger if we take time to take care of ourselves and each other.
And we'll have these resources also available. We also put some links in there for families if they want to go to Instagram or they want to go to Facebook. So all of those pieces will also be on the Stark Education Partnerships website under early childhood.
Okay.
And if I can put in another quick plug, like I said, next week is Random Acts of Kindness Week, but one of our key partners is our Stark County Library, and they are actually promoting their One Book, One Community next week, where they're showcasing the Fred Rogers, which we all need more of Fred Rogers and his kindness. And so get onto the Stark County Library website and learn more about the books of Fred Rogers and the author, Tim Madigan, that you can meet the author on February 17th, and a lot of great activities and kindness kits that you could have access to as well. We got to work on being kind to ourselves and each other.
Okay, we ran out of time, unfortunately. We have more time. We need more time, but you've done a wonderful job with this thing. This is terrific. So thank you to our guests, Krista Allison and Patty Fetzer of the Great Start for Great Futures Coalition. We'd like to remind our listeners, if you suspect you have a medical issue, please contact your healthcare provider. Thanks to our sponsors, Mercy Medical Center, Studio Arts and Glass, and of course, our technical producer, JD DeAngelis. As always, we thank our listeners for joining us on Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy. Have a healthy week, and we'll see you right here again next Friday on News Talk 1480 WHBC. Thank you very much, ladies.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy and your hosts, your